I had no idea that Angel Reese didn't even bother to show up, did not show up to support her teammates. It was that unimportant, but yet took a victory lap that you won a championship? You got to be joking.
Angel Reese beating her ship. What y'all gonna say now? Now that I have this unrivaled championship that I didn't even think to attend. She went to LeBron James's youngest son's high school state championship game. If this championship mattered, she would show up. She can afford it.
Angel Reese just got exposed, and the internet is not letting her off the hook. The so-called championship that everyone's been hyping her up for? Yeah, turns out she didn't even participate in the playoffs. That's right. While her teammates were out there hustling and fighting for the title, Reese was completely absent. But despite that, the media still tried to elevate her like she was the MVP of the entire tournament.
Angel Reese is a champion in the unrivaled that virtually no one watched. People immediately took to social media and Twitter and started posting, look at what Angel Reese has accomplished. She has a national championship at LSU. She was the rebounding queen of the WNBA. Now she has a championship in the unrivaled, and she's Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, what an accomplishment.
So the real question is this truly a championship worth celebrating? Or is it just another case of the media spinning a narrative that doesn't match up with reality? Let's break it down.
Angel Reese, 3-on-3, full season highlights. Let's get it. This is my MVP, everybody, right here. She didn't win it, but she should have. Bang! Did, however, win Defensive Player of the Year. I would have given it to the rim. Bang! Best plays from the best player on this account only, right here. Bang! Oh yeah, you gotta see this one. This is a personal favorite. Hand-eye coordination, the footwork. Bang! Another fan favorite, wide open. Bang! Greatest to ever get their shot blocked, right here. Bang!
The unrivaled league was meant to be a bold, game-changing twist on women's basketball. Something fresh, exciting, and completely different.
Angel Reese was a member of the Rose. They won the inaugural unrivaled championship last night.
I guess if you want to take a victory lap on that, you can. I just don't know if it means anything.
Let's be real, hardly anyone was actually paying attention. The so-called championship that Angel Reese won wasn't even traditional 5-on-5 basketball. It was a 3-on-3 tournament, a format that already has a hard time getting serious basketball fans to care.
Important this championship was to Angel Reese. Angel Reese didn't even attend the game. She was not in the building last night.
But of course, the media didn't waste a second hyping it up like it was on the same level as an NCAA title or a WNBA championship.
Oh man, these athletes, they make themselves look worse and worse and worse all the time.
Reese's team, the Roses, faced off against Vinyl in the final, a matchup that, let's be honest, nobody was really talking about. Unlike professional leagues that draw millions of viewers and come with real stakes, this tournament came and went with barely a sound. Even ESPN, which tried to give it some spotlight, couldn't make it feel like a major event.
All of that was more important than being at the location, being with her teammates.
Why is it just women's basketball where we see athletes acting like?
The only reason anyone's even talking about it now is because of the hilarious controversy surrounding Angel Reese's so-called championship moment. And here's the kicker. She wasn't even there. While her teammates were battling for the title, Reese was completely MIA, not just for the championship game, but for the last 2 playoff games as well. That didn't stop her from acting like she carried the squad. Instead of showing up to support or contribute, she literally FaceTimed into the post-game celebration.
When her team achieved this remarkable accomplishment, Angel Reese was so thrilled, she FaceTimed in press conference and celebration. That's how big this unrivaled championship was.
If this was really such a huge milestone in her career, wouldn't you think she'd actually, play in the game? Imagine Caitlin Clark, Aya Wilson, or Breanna Stewart skipping out on a championship match and still expecting to be praised like they led the team to victory. Yeah, that would never fly.
ESPN covered this championship. Chelsea Gray scored 30-some-odd points last night in the championship game. This championship that Angel Reese has added to her trophy case, that she didn't even play in the last 2 games.
But of course, social media was quick to jump in and defend Reese's narrative. Her supporters flooded Twitter with posts calling her a champion, listing off her past achievements like this random 3-on-3 tournament win was on the same level as her LSU title or her WNBA stats.
Another fan favorite, the touch and finesse. Beautiful. And then her grace. To all my lady listeners, if she can do this, I believe in your chances. Never give up. Never! Again, she is my MVP. I want to reiterate. Bang! Best jumper I've ever seen. She leaps out of a gym. The relentless motor on her. She won't stop missing. No one has the drive to miss baskets quite like her. Shot number 2. Bang! One more time. Last one. Bang!
Let's be real. This is pure manufactured hype. If this win actually meant something, Reese would have been on the court leading her team, not sitting at home FaceTiming like a spectator. The reality is, the media is trying hard to mold her into a superstar, even when the facts don't back it up. And when you look closer, it's clear this championship is more smoke and mirrors than a real accomplishment.
She thought so much of this championship that she was like, nah, I don't want to diminish the greatness of this championship by attending the game and rooting on my teammates. So I'll FaceTime in. No one wanted a 3-on-3 full court women's basketball league, and no one paid attention to this. Let's put together a social media campaign and let's pretend like Angel Reese just accomplished something important.
This isn't the first time we've seen the media bend over backwards to push Angel Reese as the face of women's basketball. The unrivaled league championship is just the latest example of them forcing a narrative that doesn't hold up. Even though the tournament barely registered in the sports world, ESPN and other outlets jumped on it, plastering Reese's name across headlines, despite the fact that she didn't even play in the final 2 games.
Because we're going to build up this narrative that Angel Reese is one of the great athletes of our lifetime. She's right there with Steph Curry, and she's right there with LeBron James. She's right there with Kevin Durant. She's got a championship at LSU, and now she has a championship in the unrivaled league.
Think about that for a second. A player skips the most important games of a championship, yet still gets credit like they were a key part of the team's success. In any other sport, if you sit out the deciding game, you don't get the same respect as the ones who actually showed up. But when it comes to Angel Reese, the media's more than willing to rewrite the rules. And let's not pretend this was some elite-level tournament with top-tier competition. This was a brand new 3-on-3 league with barely any star power. The biggest names in the WNBA, Aya Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Caitlin Clark, they weren't even part of it. Even Sabrina Ionescu, who was initially involved, backed out early. Why? Because they know this isn't real professional basketball. The best players don't see it as worth their time.
Let's go rush to social media and pretend that you care more about the unrivaled league than Angel Reese does.
Angel Reese just found herself at the center of one of the most awkward championship celebrations ever. The so-called unrivaled league title she's been proudly flaunting? Turns out, she didn't even set foot on the court during the final 2 games. That's right. While her teammates were out there battling for the trophy, Reese was completely absent. But that didn't stop the media hype machine from treating it like she just orchestrated one of the greatest championship runs in basketball history.
Angel Reese, 3-on-3, part 13, let's get it! Classic long 2. Bang! PSA, no rims or backboards were harmed during the filming of this video. But viewers are encouraged to look away. Bang! What? Bang! I heard her say that she might sit out if the WNBA doesn't pay her what she deserves. They say $1 million for every missed layup is fair. Bang! They are stat penning queen properly. Fair wages for all. I repeat, fair wages. Remember, they're coming to see her. Long 2, butter pecan, burst!
Now, let's ask the real question. Is this even a title worth celebrating? Or just another example of Reese getting credit she didn't actually earn? Let's break it down and reveal just how absurd this situation really is. Naturally, social media jumped in right away, spinning the story in her favor. Reese's fans flooded Twitter, calling her a champion and lumping this so-called title in with her LSU championship and WNBA rebounding stats, as if all of them held the same weight. But let's be honest, this is just an overblown narrative. If this championship truly mattered, Reese would have been on the court, leading her team and showing she deserved the spotlight. Instead, she phoned it in literally.
Don't understand how the WNBA won't have enough money to pay her. I mean, max contract, we're talking about Curry land, we're talking about LeBron. I mean, she brings all the eyeballs. She's so skilled, she does everything perfectly. I mean, she can dunk too. Look at that. Bang!
Netflix, listen to me. If the WNBA won't pay her, you better. Comedy special, man. She's hilarious.
Who else can do the hop, skippity, drop, step, bang better than her? Bang! Bang!
What makes this even more hilarious? The team actually played better without Reese in the championship game. Chelsea Gray rose to the occasion and delivered a stellar performance. Some fans even noted that the team looked more cohesive and fluid once Reese was out of the lineup. That's the uncomfortable truth no one in the media wants to admit. Rather than acknowledging that Reese's absence didn't negatively impact the team, the narrative continued to paint her as the driving force behind their victory. But then came the most ridiculous part, Reese herself leaning into the hype. After the game, she jumped on Twitter, posting cryptic messages like, "What y'all going to say now?" as if she had silenced her critics. But what exactly was she proving? That a team she didn't even step on the court for could win without her? That FaceTiming into a post-game celebration now counts the same as actually competing?
And this championship game was so unimportant. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'll watch from home. I'll watch this stream from home, and I'll FaceTime in if we win.
This league has got to figure out a way to honor Angel.
This moment perfectly highlights the ongoing issue with how Angel Reese is marketed. Instead of allowing her performance on the court to speak for itself, the media and her fans continually inflate her legacy with manufactured accomplishments. If she truly wants to be recognized as one of the all-time greats, she needs to earn that status through her play, not through cryptic tweets, not through media-driven hype, and certainly not by claiming a championship she didn't actually contribute to.
We have to sit through the fake importance of double-doubles all over again, question mark? Oh, nobody gets hollow double-doubles like your girl, Angel Reese.
So, here's the real question. How much longer can this illusion hold up? Eventually, reality has to catch up with the narrative. The media can only push this superstar label for so long before people start seeing things for what they really are. Angel Reese isn't the dominant force they're making her out to be, and this latest so-called championship only exposes that further.
There are 16 players with a higher point per average than Reese. She led the league in rebounds per game and personal fouls per game. Her points numbers won't translate to the W very well because free throws only count for 1 point.
Think about how real superstars are treated. When players like LeBron James, Steph Curry, or Breanna Stewart win championships, it's because they led their teams to victory. They were on the court, making the clutch plays, proving exactly why they're the best. But Reese? She sat out during the most critical moment of the tournament. Yet somehow, the media still made her the headline.
12 rebounds per game, how many of which were her own missed putbacks?
Now compare this to true competitors. Take Caitlin Clark, for example. Every time she steps on the court, she's under intense scrutiny. Every shot, every assist, every win or loss is analyzed in detail. If she had missed a championship game, no one would be calling her a champion. They'd be asking why she wasn't out there. The same standard applies to Aya Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and any other elite player. The expectation is clear. If you want to be considered a champion, you have to earn it. But for Reese, the rules seem different. Instead of holding her accountable, the media keeps making excuses. They refuse to admit her team didn't need her to win. They ignore the fact that she contributed nothing to the championship run. Instead, they hand her yet another unearned accolade and pretend it's legitimate.
I mean, you want to grow the game? All right, grow the game. All I'm saying is if you want to play in the big leagues, if you want to be somebody that transcends the game, you got to have a personality. I will give Angel Reese this. She has a personality. It's ignorance. It's stupid. I mean, it's really stupid.
If anything, this championship exposed a harsh truth. Reese's presence didn't make or break her team. They won without her, which raises a serious question. How valuable is she really? And let's not overlook how she handled the aftermath. Instead of celebrating her teammates, the ones who actually secured the win, She jumped on social media to shift the spotlight back onto herself. Now compare that to real champions. When players like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant won titles, they celebrated with their teammates, fully aware of the hard work it took to reach that moment. They weren't sidelined, FaceTiming into the celebration, and still expecting to take credit.
Most influential female athletes right now: Coco Gauff, 10, Juju Watkins, number 9, Cameron Brent, 8, Paige Beckers, number 7, Sabrina Ionescu, number 6, Asia Wilson. So Asia's not going to be happy either. Jakari Richardson was number 4, Simone Biles number 3 right here. I can't quite get past the fact that Simone Biles is behind Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark, she ran away with number 1. I don't think that should surprise us. She came away with number 1.
At this point, it's becoming obvious that Angel Reese's career is being fueled more by media hype than actual dominance. Sure, she was impressive in college, but at the professional level, she has yet to prove she belongs among the elite. Her performances in the WNBA have been inconsistent, her shooting remains shaky, and her game still leans more on physicality than refined skill. Despite that, the media continues to frame her as a generational talent. But this so-called unrivaled league title? It might just be the moment when the illusion starts to unravel. Winning what amounts to a glorified backyard tournament doesn't make her a champion. Sitting out the final 2 games and still claiming credit doesn't make her dominant. This was a media-created fairy tale, and for anyone paying close attention, it's becoming harder and harder to believe.
Caitlin Clark is redefining the entire landscape of women's sports. Her dominance on the court has shattered outdated narratives about women's sports, proving that women's basketball can be just as marketable and widely watched as men's. But the Caitlin Clark effect goes far beyond her performance. It's reshaping the entire sports landscape. Her presence alone boosts the WNBA attendance by 105% compared to games without her, while road games featuring her Indiana Fever see an 87% increase in opponent home attendance. Her rookie debut sparked a staggering 200% jump in WNBA viewership, while Fever home games drew a league-high 186,000 fans last season, a 265% increase from 2023.
At the end of the day, real champions show up when it counts. They rise to the occasion, take responsibility for their team's success, and let their performance do the talking. Angel Reese had the perfect opportunity to do just that, but instead, she took the easy route, celebrating a title she played no part in winning. The media can spin whatever narrative they want, but the facts remain. This so-called championship was meaningless and does nothing to change the reality that Reese still has a lot to prove. The unrivaled league championship? It was nothing more than an overhyped exhibition that barely registered in the sports world. Yet here we are, watching Reese soak up the spotlight for a title she didn't even compete for. The media wasted no time calling it a defining moment in her career, but let's be real, the facts don't lie. She missed the final 2 games. She wasn't on the court when her team sealed the victory. And yet somehow, she's acting like this was a milestone achievement. But true basketball fans aren't falling for it. They know what real champions look like. Champions don't sit on the sidelines and FaceTime into celebrations. They fight for their wins, they lead their teams, and they earn every trophy they lift. Reese, on the other hand, continues to ride a wave of media hype that inflates her accomplishments far beyond reality. So, what happens next? Does the hype machine keep rolling despite the growing cracks in her resume? Or does reality finally catch up? One thing's certain. If Angel Reese truly wants to cement her legacy, she'll need to start backing up the talk with actual results on the court, not just viral tweets and carefully crafted narratives. The spotlight is on her now, and sooner or later, the illusion will fade. The only question is, when that moment comes, will Angel Reese be ready to face the truth? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Click the video on your screen now, and we'll catch you in the next one.
If I was funding this league, I'd say, all right, hold on. You got a golden goose. We all got one in Caitlin Clark. These people that are criticizing Caitlin Clark, these people that are hitting Caitlin Clark, these people that are talking as if they are as important as Caitlin Clark are hurting our opportunity. They're hurting the brand.